When the Egyptian pyramids were being built, they were there. When the Sumerians discovered writing, they had already built huge cities. History books have always told us about Egypt and Mesopotamia. But 4,000 years ago, there was an empire that stretched farther and far more populous than any of them, the Indus Valley. They had no kings. They had no palaces. There's not a shred of evidence that they had armies. But they built the world's first modern sewer system, practiced dentistry, and produced technologies we still use today. Then, around 1900 BC, as if someone had flipped a switch, they vanished. War, climate, or a terrible disaster that history has covered up? Today, we pursue the silent scream of the Indus Valley. Welcome to Mohenjo-Daro. This was the New York of the ancient world. The city plan you see on the screen right now is no different from modern Paris or Manhattan. Houses have private bathrooms. Wastewater is removed from the city through a closed sewer system. Europe didn't fully master this technology until 3,000 years later, during the Roman era. Mesopotamian tablets refer to them as Mela, meaning land of the dark mountains. Sumerian kings paid fortunes to acquire those red dogs, golden monkeys, and carnelian stones from Mela. But you know what the weirdest thing is? Apart from this statue, there is no trace of the ruler. The largest building is not a palace, but a huge public bathhouse. There is no gap between the homes of the rich and the poor. Historians are baffled. Was this a communist utopia? Or did a civilization where everyone was equal and did not know war really exist? When archaeologists first entered the city in the 1920s, they encountered a blood-curdling sight. Skeletons in the middle of the street, as if they had died while trying to escape. A father knelt over his child to protect him. Mortimer Wheeler, the famous archaeologist of the period, gave the verdict: Indra is guilty. That is, the Aryan invasion. He claimed that barbaric tribes had come and massacred these peaceful people. This massacre was recounted in history books for years. But when modern forensic science re-examined the bones, they made a shocking discovery. There were no sword marks on the bones. No signs of a blow. These people didn't die fighting. It was an invisible enemy that killed them. But what? The killer wasn't an army. The killer was geography itself. Satellite images show us a huge river called Ghaggar Hakra, which has dried up today. This was the lifeblood of civilization. When the waters from the Himalayas changed course, not only did the fields dry up, the city's artery was cut. Imagine, 5 million people, no water, trade halted. And the vast sewer system is no longer working. Cities are beginning to drown in their own waste. Diseases spread. Skeletal analysis shows that in recent times, people were malnourished and suffering from malaria. When the Aryans arrived, there was probably no civilization left to conquer. They found only ghost cities. If you think that all that's left of them are silent bricks, you're wrong. In fact, they left us thousands of messages. These seals, the writing on them has still not been deciphered. Even artificial intelligence cannot decipher this language. Perhaps these writings contain the names of the kings, their religions, or how they felt during the days of decline. But most interestingly, the most common figure on these seals is a unicorn. The legendary unicorn. Perhaps the Indus people were the first ancestors to introduce yoga, the namaste greeting, and the peaceful living that forms the basis of Indian culture today. They did not disappear, they were simply transformed. These silent giants of the Bronze Age teach us a very important lesson. No matter how advanced you are, no matter how perfect your cities are, nature always has the final say. The Indus Valley collapsed not because of war, but because of climate. It's a lot like today's world, isn't it? What do you think those seals say? If the text is deciphered one day, will we rewrite history books? I'm looking forward to your theories in the comments. See you in the next issue. Stay tuned to Onyx Able.